What's up everyone, my name is Sahil and I am a second year UBC Medical School student, and in today's video I'll be talking to you about how I spent my gap year, how most people spend it, things I learned, and things that I wish I had done differently. But first, let's cue the intro. Alright, welcome back to this channel. If this is the first video that you're watching mine, I want to say a big thank you and welcome to our YouTube community. On this YouTube channel, I like to make health and fitness videos, medicine-related vlogs, travel videos, and other fun videos just like this one. Now, if you haven't already, please do make sure to go smash the like button and the subscribe button because that's a nice thing to do. Now, before we start, I want to preface this video by saying that any of the thoughts shared in this video are purely my own, and I'm not representing any med school admissions committee, and any of the things I talk about are from my own experience and from the very little experience that I have. So please just keep that in mind as you continue on with this video. Alright, and with all that formal stuff out of the way, let's get right into this video. So today's video we'll be talking about what a gap year is, how most people spend their gap year, how I spent my gap year, things I learned during that time, and things I would do differently. So first things first, let's get started with what is a gap year. A gap year is a period of time, typically an academic year, taken by a student, usually between school and any other higher education. So in most cases, that can be right after high school and before they begin their undergrad degree, or in my case, and usually medical school student cases, it's right after their undergrad degree, after they get their bachelor's, and before beginning medical school. Now, some people might choose to take a gap year intentionally, but that wasn't really the case in my situation. So I actually applied to UBC Medical School at the beginning of my fourth year of undergrad, and my goal was that since the application cycle takes a full year, that by the time I finished my Bachelor's of Science degree at UFE, I would be done in April, and I would find out if I got into med school in May, ideally, and I would start medical school that next following year in September. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, I didn't get in that September, and I was on the wait list throughout the summer, and I actually applied again that September, meaning that I had a full year to myself. Now, during a gap year, there's tons of things that you can do, and if you're in a similar situation like mine, I just want to start off by saying that it's going to be okay. A lot of people often wonder, like, am I built for med school if they don't get in the first couple of times? And truly, if you have pure intentions and you're hustling hard, you're working hard, there's no reason you won't get in. And a good friend of mine once said that it's not a matter of will I get in, it's a matter of when I get in. So just try to keep a positive outlook and make the most of your gap year. You will have a beautiful time and you will be exactly where you need to be at the right time for the universe to benefit from you the most and for you to benefit from it the most. Now, with that being said, let's go through some common ways that people spend their gap year before beginning medical school. Point number one is improving your MCAT. So this is a very subjective call. If you feel that you could definitely do better on the MCAT, because there's no more pressure of balancing school and studying for the MCAT, then I would say go for it, but again, very subjective. Point number two is boosting your GPA. If you feel like you didn't get into medical school because you had a low GPA, but you feel like you could do much, much better, maybe there were certain circumstances in your life that took place, didn't let you study to the best of your abilities, do not stress. There's still time to improve your GPA. You've been gifted with a gap year. So if you want, you can enroll yourself into a 1-year, 2-year master's program, and I actually know tons of students who've done this. They've been able to bring their GPA up, and it looks really good on med school applications as well. Number three is doing research. Now, a big caveat with this is I am a big advocate of doing things that make you happy. So if you have done research in the past and haven't enjoyed it at all, and you know that research isn't for you, then maybe that's not the best way to spend your time. But if you were really busy with undergrad and didn't have time to do research and don't even know what it is, I would say now is a beautiful time to start looking for research opportunities, get that experience. And a big thing that I want to say about research is that I would say it doesn't entirely matter what specifically your project is on. What matters more is the skills that you develop along that whole process of doing a lit review, of collecting the data, working with others, working with a supervisor, building those time management skills. I think those are much more important in that whole process rather than specifically what you focus on. So if that's something you haven't done yet and want to try, I would say definitely try at least once, try doing research. who knows, you might enjoy it, you might even do a PhD after, or MD, PhD. So something to look into. Number 4 is volunteering or working. Now, this could be volunteering or working in a medical related field or something non-medical at all. My 2 cents, like I said, is always doing things that you are passionate about, that you're happy about. So if doing work at a pharmacy is something you really enjoy, go for it. If you want to work as a videographer, like that's something you are very passionate about, go for that. And that brings me to my 5th point, and kind of just like my personal opinion. The 5th way to spend your gap year is just doing things that make you happy. I mean, med school is going to be super duper intense. Take it from a 2nd year med student, you barely have time to do things that you enjoy. So why not take the time to do things that you're passionate about? Whether that's working full time, teaching, traveling, pursuing an artistic endeavor that you just never had time for when you were an undergrad, do that now. Personally, I'm a big believer that life is like a game and the end goal is happiness, but that doesn't mean that after you've hustled and worked hard for everything, only then you attain happiness. Like my sensei and role model and mentor, Dr. Manjeet Gosal, once said, happiness is all about enjoying the journey. It's not about doing something and then getting to that point and then thinking I'll be happy. Because truth is that if you go into everything with that mindset and tell yourself that, okay, I'm gonna hustle, then when I get to this thing, then I'll be happy. Happiness comes, don't get me wrong, you'll be happy, but you'll only be happy for like a second, maybe a minute, maybe a couple of days, but eventually the happiness will subside and that'll be replaced with new worries, new goals. And I mean, you should have new goals all the time, but why not enjoy the whole process? Enjoy staying up till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. studying. Enjoy waking up every day, getting to learn, getting to go to school, or now in these days, Zoom online classes. So enjoy the process. Trust me, it goes a long way, and I think you will enjoy it. Great, so next I'll talk about how I spent my gap year. Besides medicine, I've always been very passionate about health and fitness, nutrition, traveling, acting and modeling, and also just like a creative itch to create. So that's exactly what I did. So specifically during my gap year, I got my personal training and my nutrition certification, and I started my own personal training business called Fitness for You, where I basically just train clients towards their fitness and health goals. And I gotta say, because I didn't come from a business background, there was a huge learning curve to designing the website, to doing all the back end like coding, setting up the whole system, and marketing myself, and just talking to clients, doing sales calls. All these things were pretty new to me. I had never done them in the past, but I enjoyed my time. And besides that, I also pursued my acting and modeling more seriously, and I actually had the opportunity to act as a lead in a musical theatrical production with the Dream Team, which was an amazing experience for me. I'll try to include a little clip here. I'm not the best, but it was a very nice experience. I enjoyed it. Another thing was that I started this YouTube channel. So I started making videos on topics that I was passionate about, and up till that point I had never really filmed much, never edited videos, or even had a YouTube channel, so there's a big learning curve to that. But the beauty of YouTube is that everything is on there. So I literally Googled or YouTubed how to start a YouTube channel and how to edit videos, how to make YouTube videos, and everything was on there. So that was definitely an experience. Fun fact, I actually still have my first YouTube videos up there before I started making medicine related videos, and I kind of just left them on there because it shows that growth, but I am 100% aware that those videos look very tacky, from the lighting to the audio to the videography. I mean, the camera wasn't even that good back then, but it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. And lastly, I started a charity foundation. So this was an idea that I actually started about a month or so before beginning medical school. And Ikanki and I have been thinking about this for the longest time, but we didn't know how exactly to set everything up and what we would do specifically. But then we took that plunge and we started Can-Am Health and Wellness Foundation, which is committed to promoting health and wellness, gender equity, woman empowerment, diversity, and inclusivity as key pillars in a community. And that's something that we're constantly still doing, and we have tons of projects going on and our team has grown from 2, just me and my sister Ikonki, to a very strong team of 6 key members now, and we have weekly meetings, and it's beautiful. Lots of exciting things coming. So personally, the only thing I'd really want to change about my gap year was that I was really stressed about getting into medical school. And I mean, rightfully so, everyone is stressed about getting in, but I think I would just have more faith and trust in the process and believe that I've done my best leading up to it, and that I've done all the work that I need to do, and that the rest is now in hands that are bigger than mine, that are beyond my control. So maybe I would have relaxed a bit more, because I think I was always stressed in the back of my head, wanting to prove to myself that I am deserving of getting in, and because of that, maybe I didn't get to relax as much as I should have in my gap year. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast doing all these different projects that I was working on, but if there's one thing I would change, it's do that. Enjoy yourself, relax, smile, tell yourself everything's going to be fine, because it truly is going to be okay. Now, to summarize, if you're in the position of taking a gap year and you're still not sure about how to spend it, and there's only one thing you're going to take out of this video, let it be this: follow your passions. Guys, I can't stress it enough, but happiness is really the name of the game. So if you do what you're passionate about, I'm sure you will be happy, and it will look much better on a med school application, and you will feel much better than compared to doing what you thought a med school admissions committee wants to see. Because trust me, maybe you pursuing that acting, that modeling, that singing, whatever that might be, is going to get you much further than working at a pharmacy. And don't get me wrong, if you really enjoy that experience of working at a pharmacy, go for it. More power to you. But follow your passions, because you're definitely going to be able to see growth in that position. And I think that med school admission committees will be much happier seeing that you grew and you were happy pursuing something that you're passionate about, as opposed to what a typical pre-med activity is on an application. And with that being said, that is the end of today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video and found any value from it at all, I would really appreciate if you could like, share, comment, and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. And like always, guys, I hope you stay smiling, stay blessed, and stay happy. And until next time, tons of peace, love, and gains for you.
Down the ground like gravel, coming back around like lasso, macro, like a vision board I see with clarity. I hustle like my name is Gary V, for more than the wealth and prosperity. Accountants was talking about equity, I'm Triple H giving the pedigree. The meaning I'm special, my specialty. I'm putting the work till I'm dirt in the earth, I'm moving furniture to Beverly.